Hello everyone, Dan Hur with Dan Hur Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. I am here on Mikey's claim. Hello! Mikey with the Gold Panners. He invited me down to his claim to see what it looks like and to see what I can see on the claim that I can help him with his evaluation of this new site. There's lots of history here, lots of old trenches, pits, wash plants, all sorts of stuff. Hopefully, I can shed some insight on where the gold is and where they worked in the past. Or maybe not, I don't know. Anyhow, it's all a big adventure. Hope you enjoy. Now, rather than exploring for the first hour, I've been actually running the Highbanker here. There seemed to be an old big mound of some sort that the old timers left here, and we thought it'd be a good idea to evaluate it, run half a yard through the wash plant, Highbanker, and see if there was any gold in whatever this material was. It looks right. So here's the pit we've been digging through Mike's fancy new Highbanker, one of Paul Jarvis's specials. If you haven't seen Paul Jarvis's Highbankers, go check them out. They're beauties, and they're very bright colors.
Yep, this is the nullifier model, and it comes fully matted out with Jarvis's activated ripples and the Dreamatic. Yep, pretty cool.
And it's bright.
Super bright, you're not gonna lose it.
Anyhow, let's go look around. Say hi, Brecton.
Hi, team.
So the first nice thing I see about this claim is you can get into it with a vehicle. Got a road all the way down. That is so convenient. You can see some of the old equipment that was left behind from past miners. This is a very infamous creek. This is Cherry Creek in Cherryville, and it is well known for its big gold, nuggets, lots of gold, and a big gold rush history. Now, there does seem to be quite a big open area up here on the first bench up, which could quite possibly be a old excavation pit that's been filled in. They suggested up on the bank there might have been some hydraulicking. Here come two more of our adventurers today. They suggested up on the bank there may have been some hydraulicking going on. So actually they're testing some gravels up in there today as well, seeing if possibly the hillside over there holds anything. When we are done the run, I'll definitely show you the results in the Highbanker. Though that being said, that is just a random berm that we found left here on the claim. It could be anything. It could even be old tailings. So we don't know what we're gonna find in that Highbanker when we clean it out. We see a slight excavation here. Obviously some sort of machine came and dug a trench right through here. And Sibo was in yesterday doing a few test pans, and he found a bit of gold down in the material. Very clay material, very, very clay material. Now here is one of the dangers of claims in this area. This plant here is known as Devil's Club. See those spikes? Ow, ow, ow. Those are very poisonous spikes. I got hit with Devil's Club about 10 years ago on the back of my leg. I still have a bump, a scar, a mark where it hit me. It was excruciating pain. So we do have to be careful of the Devil's Club here on this claim. These leaves, once they, later on in the summer, will grow to be huge leaves. Right now, they're just emerging. And a beautiful Highbanker. I have never actually used one of Paul Jarvis's Highbankers, but they are the prettiest things around. The Gridlessness family had an Adventures in Gold prospecting Highbanker as well. So they are nice units for sure. Any deeper, you're gonna be buried, Mike.
I know. We're not quite at regulation depth yet though, which is good.
That's true.
We got another 2 feet we can go.
I don't know, this hill is mounted up about 1.5 meters. Does that mean we can go to the bottom of it or do 1.5 meters below that?
Yeah, right, where's the ground?
I don't know. We have regulations here in BC that when you're digging a pit like this without permits, you're allowed to go 1.5 meters deep and a certain volume. So that's why we're joking that we're not at that depth yet. Anything deeper than that, and you have to actually put permits in, and the government has to approve it. Nice fire barrel.
That came with the claim.
Perfect.
That was with the old miner's cabin. I'm gonna ask Mike if I can have it.
There is lots of evidence of old mining around as well. This looks to be like a trailer frame or something that was here. I'm not sure if they were planning to build a cabin on it or whatnot, but over here is a very, very old foundation, well, actually roof, I assume underneath it's a foundation, of an old prospector's cabin. Lots of history on Cherry Creek, that's for sure. So just abandoned on the claim from old miners is an old little trommel that they were using. Probably went with the hopper thing that's over there on the hillside. It probably fed from the hopper down into this trommel, and then some sort of sluice box. Was this sluice here part of it, or is that
No, that was Mike's. This little sluice here came with it.
You can get it out. Oh yes,
With it.
There we go. All of that with that little sluice catching the gold?
Little bubblegum well, look at the rivets on here.
Yeah, you can tell that's old.
Steampunk looking thing.
And if that's all they had for capture on this, you also know that they weren't really worried about the small stuff.
That would be hilarious.
They were only here for the nuggets. Now this here, I said was Cherry Creek. That's actually the old name of it. Actually, its new name is Monashee Creek. This is Monashee Creek in full spring runoff. There's some great mining to be had on the other side here, but until this goes down and you can wade across it, it's out of our reach. You can see downstream there, there's a chunk of bedrock poking out into the creek. And apparently it's some really nice looking sniping area down there. But again, we won't be able to do anything with that until this water level goes down a little bit. Now this bank here is quite intriguing to me. It's neat to look at this because you can see the creek has worn through the forest floor. The gravel deposit that made up this forest floor has actually worn through about 8 feet here. And you can tell that that whole bench we're working on up there is going to have probably about 8 feet at least of this crunchy looking gravel down below the forest floor. This gives us a really good idea of what's underneath the soil and tree layer all through the bench. It will tell us what to expect when we get down about 2 feet. And if we ever were to put permits onto this site and want to start digging down, we would have to clear an area up on the bench. There's a lot of timber up there we'd have to clear, and pull stumps and all that kind of stuff. And then we could dig down, and we don't know what the bedrock does, undulates underneath. No, we don't. But we know we have a good idea that we have at least 6 feet of pay material below the forest floor. I haven't checked with Mike to see how much sampling he's done along here, because this will give us a really good idea of the pay of that gravel, because we don't know where bedrock is on this side. The only exposure we have to bedrock is down by the next corner, so we know it's not out of sight because we see some close by, but we don't know if it's 5 feet down, 10 feet down, or 100 feet down. And of course, the nuggets are sitting on bedrock. Now looking at the berm that Mike is working here, it's a straight berm straight up to the mountainside over there. And we notice that what Mike is discharging into right now, this little trough, if you follow it back, it actually goes all the way along the bottom of this mountain up towards the river. There's a good chance they were diverting water from the river at the time, bringing it down here, letting it pool right here, and then pumping it up to their wash plant. This could be how they got water into their wash plant. And as Mike said, the berm on the far side of the trough is all nice crunchy gravels. So if they just used an excavator or something and dug in and dumped it, there could actually be some nice pay gravel up on the surface along the side of this trench, which is a natural place to discharge your water into. Another rule here in BC is that your water cannot get back to the river. Dirty, silty water can't get back. They're worried about it plugging up fish spawning habitat. So we have to make sure the water goes into something like a tailings pond and then soaks into the ground after that. So this is perfect. Mike was just telling me that they are very interested in testing this trench more too. And it's actually at the perfect spot. There's a very steep hill coming down here, and then it levels off. So you know, one point in history, the reason that, you know, topography looks like that is the river used to be right here flowing against that mountain, creating this flat down here, depositing gravel. So yes, this would be a great spot to test because this is right at the position the river once flowed, and you can tell that by the steep hill stopping with a flat bottom. So perfect spot to test, right where this trench is. So this is one of the old pieces of equipment. Looks like a hopper here, big enough that they could dump into with a small excavator. And then it looks like as it came out, it went over this grizzly here, dropped the 1-inch rocks down through into that trough. And you know, the bigger ones just fell off the end. That trough there probably led right into the trommel that's over in the bush. Could be resurrected quite easily. There's actually nothing really wrong with this. Now here's another spot that Mike wants to sample, or has started to sample. This hillside is at the edge of the big flat area where they think there may have been a placer pit or a hydraulic operation at one time. And there's, you know, water flowing out of the gravels. It's wet, it's moist. But these are obviously river run gravels deposited here, and beautiful looking stuff. So definitely taking a good load of this to run through the Highbanker and see if possibly whatever they were chasing right there continues up into the hillside. That is yummy looking stuff. Would like to see bigger cobbles here though. Very medium uniform size. I would hope to see bigger cobbles, and that would sort of indicate to me more that I like the look of this stuff. Now this pit is on this big flat. Definitely someone checking to see what gravels are below it, and you can see actually over there, they exposed the typical river gravels, which were only just under the surface. This is the second bench up. We were working the first bench, this is the second bench. So I would say that this has about equal potential as that first one. So Mike's doing his first cleanup of the day. First cleanup of the day? Yep, first cleanup of the day here.
First cleanup of the day. Doing the hopper first.
Are you gonna actually pan out the hopper separately?
I hadn't thought about that, honestly.
Fantastic job.
Absolutely.
But so often things like that do get plugged up.
I think the holes need to be a little bigger.
Right.
Allow that little bit more flow.
So we've shut down for cleanup, and the mats look great. They look like they're working just perfectly. We do see the odd tiny speck of gold hanging around, but really the good stuff is going to be down in these wells. Actually, the good stuff will be up underneath the hopper here in the active riffles, or up on the expanded metal on miner's moss. That's where the big stuff should have caught, is up here. And in fact, I see on this Highbanker, we even have capture up in the hopper itself. We have expanded steel over miner's moss, and I bet you if there was any really good gold, it's probably sitting right up there. Probably didn't even get through the hopper. I like running my expanded metal in the hopper the other way around, so it actually creates little pockets that the gold nuggets can sit in. Down in the sluice, this would be the right way, but up in the hopper, I like it when it's the other way up. So Rhonda here thinks she sees some gold in the box. There we are. Oh, water's coming. Here comes the water again. Bryson likes his chainsaw, eh?
He is loving doing anything but gold mining.
There's one little piece.
Yep, got one there?
Right there.
There we go. Beautiful garnets in here. Forget about the gold, we got beautiful garnets. Beautiful garnets.
I love the garnet.
Let's hope there's some nuggets underneath that black sand.
I got my fingers crossed.
Well, Monashee Creek is actually quite known for its big pieces. A lot of people still get some pretty good pieces sniping here.
Wasn't there an 8-ounce nugget found on this claim?
Not sure about this claim, but or is it?
There was.
I think on the
someone says?
file, yeah, there was an 8.5-ounce nugget found on this claim.
Excellent.
Yep.
I don't think it's in this pan.
No.
No.
Pan feels a little light for that.
Yeah. Garnets.
Little tiny one
Lots
there.
of garnets in there. Yeah, there's a little tiny piece over here.
There's one
Right there.
Couple there.
Right
3.
there. Couple, 3 there.
Bigger one there.
Right there.
Oh, there we go. Nothing huge and not high
Nothing
volumes.
huge, but
it's not gonna add up to much.
bunch of little flakes.
Yeah. There's the gold. I'd say that was less than a quarter yard of material we ran. It wasn't all that much, but that amount of gold is probably not worth running anymore from that berm. Because yes, it's nice, beautiful gold, but that does not add up to much. Well, Mike sure has a nice claim here. This is nice. Once he finds where the gold's at, I will definitely be here helping him extract it. Let him find where it is though first. Really hope you enjoyed. Please leave me that thumbs up if you liked it. And I hope I earned some subscriptions today. Big thanks to my patrons out there. You guys are awesome. And until the next one, everyone, bye.